Hi, and welcome to the Online Devo. See, yesterday morning, what we talked about, which we're going to continue today, is the section in the Sermon on the Mount where it says, "Do not worry." God's reminding us again who's in control and how we just get in the way because we think there's part of this life that we control, that is up to us. But I want to read it to you again just to keep it fresh in our mind because I think it's very beautifully written. It says, "Therefore I tell you, do not worry about your life, what you will eat or drink, or about your body, what you will wear. Is not life more important than food, and the body more important than clothes? Look at the birds of the air. They do not sow or reap or store away in barns, and yet your heavenly Father feeds them. Are you not much more valuable than they? Who of you, by worrying, can add a single hour to your life? And why worry about clothes? See how the lilies of the field grow? They do not labor or spin. Yet I tell you that not even Solomon in all his splendor was dressed like one of these. If that is how God clothes the grass of the field, which are here today, and tomorrow will be thrown into the fire, will he not much more clothe you, O you of little faith? So do not worry, saying, what shall we eat, or what shall we drink, or what shall we wear? For the pagans run after all these things, and your heavenly Father knows that you need them. But seek first his kingdom and all his righteousness, and these things will be given to you as well. Therefore, do not worry about tomorrow, for tomorrow has enough trouble of its own. Let it worry about itself." That is Matthew chapter 6, 25 through 34. The reason I want to read that again is because it's just very peaceful and comforting to read that. Just to know that I gotta stop worrying about my body and what I'm gonna wear and food. And we talked about how in poorer countries, in poorer places of our country, those are real worries. People worrying about where's my next meal. People worrying about this coat I have is wearing out. It doesn't have a sleeve, but it's all I got. Am I gonna get another one? Or am I gonna get a pair of shoes because I don't have any? But here we don't worry as much about that. Okay, we worry more about where are we gonna get the money, and we worry about just what other people will think, and we worry about the next event coming up. But there's one line in there that we didn't talk about that I would like to. And it says, basically like, why worry? You see, the pagans, they run after these things. What that really is saying, Jesus is saying to them, look, you guys that are worrying, you're being non-Christian. Okay, that is not a virtue that a Christian carries. Christians don't worry. Non-Christians worry. But it's not saying, like, if you're someone who worries, that means you're not a Christian. What it's saying is that that's just one of those aspects of our old life that we brought into our new life. You see, we get new life when we become a Christian. And there's a lot of the old life that we're just told to leave behind. And Jesus says, no, no, no. You now have new life. You're living differently. That's what the Sermon on the Mount is supposed to be teaching you, that you're different now. So leave that old junk behind. And worrying is one of those things. So the pagans, they were just the people that just worshipped other gods. They weren't Christians, you know. Some of them, they did some crazy things. If you were here on last Wednesday, we talked about some definitely different people that lived in a place called Caesarea Philippi. But we do that all the time, just like the pagans did, just like non-Christians do. We hold on to that old life. We hold on, no, I'm in control. You know, it's up to me if I'm getting clothes. It's up to me if I'm getting food. It's up to me if I make it through this event. It's up to me to make that money. And Jesus wants you to know, no, it's not. Yeah, you have to do your part. You know, you have to be prepared. You have to work hard. You have to be responsible. But if you're loving me, and this is what it says right after that pagans part, if you're loving me and you're trusting me and you're seeking to be like me and my Son, all these things will be given to you. So don't worry. So what I want you to take away and what I want you to think about this week is this. If you're loving Jesus and you're worshiping God like you're supposed to. There's nothing else to worry about. It will be given to you. Like we talked about on Sunday, it might look different. We might want some treasure in earth kind of stuff, but He's given us treasure in heaven kind of stuff, which is better. But sometimes we just fail to see that. So our only job, our only worry in the world is, am I loving God? Outside of that, all these trivial things will line up. So spend some time this week reminding yourself that God's in control, and reminding yourself treasures on heaven are more important, and reminding yourself, hey, I don't need to worry, because I have a Father who loves me, who knows what I need. He's taking care of me, and He's given me new life, and worrying was part of my old life. So think about that this week, and leave a comment. Make sure you do that, saying, hey, I do worry too much, or just saying something that kind of basically answers the question of, do you ever take over control, or what do you think about worrying, and how often do you do it? Have a good week.